Shifting focus now to some news that's breaking this minute coming in from the top court. The Supreme Court has pulled up the centre over the loan moratorium issue. The Supreme Court saying, and I quote, the centre can't say matter is in between the bank and the customer. The Supreme Court further saying that the centre cannot leave the moratorium decision to the banks. Supreme Court further also observing that the centre took time, but no solution is in sight, clearly pulling up the centre over the loan moratorium issue. Let me bring in our Deputy News Editor Meenakshi for further updates on this. Meenakshi, very interesting observations there coming in from the top court, pulling up the centre over the loan moratorium issue. What happened in the court? What are the observations that the court made?
Well, that's right, Apurva. The Supreme Court was today seized of a matter which is the plea challenging the RBI's 29th March order in terms of levy of interest on loan repayments during moratorium. And it was in the course of the hearing that we saw several interesting back and forth being exchanged between senior counsels like Mr. Harish Salve, Mukul Rohtgi, who were representing the interests of the bank, and the Supreme Court bench, which, like you rightly mentioned, made some remarks which was of great interest. The Supreme Court was of the opinion that its primary job is to ensure that the banks at this juncture, that insofar as the monitoring of the banks is concerned, the central government can't raise its hands in helplessness. The central government now cannot say that it is solely something which is between the banks and the customers. If the central government had announced a moratorium, it must ensure that the benefits are also given to the customers purposefully. Now, to this, we heard a very determined pitch from Mr. Harish Salve and Mukul Rohtgi, who were both of the opinion that right now, there are several implications, sectoral-wise implications that the banks have to take into account, and therefore the Supreme Court should adjourn the matter till the first week of August, gain further clarity to see how this issue is really panning out before it conducts its next hearing. So, with that, today's orders on this issue, the Supreme Court has asked for the central government and the RBI to furthermore review the situation. The Supreme Court has sought more clarity on whether the banks can come up with new guidelines. And with that, the matter now has been adjourned to the first week of August.
All right. Meenakshi, thanks for joining us and giving us all those updates.